Hi, hello everyone. So let me just post the link on Instagram. So today I'm out and about, and yeah, I'm actually outside in front of the Sorry Club, Przepraszam Club. So this is where we meet every Wednesday. I'm planning to organize the meetings every Wednesday if you are interested to know. In the meantime, let me just post the info on Facebook. I mean on Instagram that I'm coming to you live. Pandora's box live. Okay, got this. Yeah, the link is posted. So last time we talked about the story of Muneka Brava, a TV series, and I talked about the gypsy girls who act out in their own lives. They prepare their entire lives to give birth to daughters who are shaped into Muneka Brava, so three personalities in one. I talked to you about the linking of Muneka Brava Milagres with a specific animal, a cow, with chocolate, with Montezot, yogurt, and so on and so on. And I gave you a specific story of somebody close to me that I believe experiences just that. And today I wanted to tell you about those mothers who prepare for the stories of, those girls, for the story of Milagros, Cholito, and the servant, the maid. So those girls start their preparation with, when they are little, they start with Beauty and the Beast, which is, the topic of which is creating the escort. And then further along the way, they are linked with Coco Chanel. And Coco Chanel is, there is a film by Audrey Tautou, a famous French actress. And Audrey Tautou shows us the story of Coco Chanel in at least 2 films. And I think those films show us the key moments of Coco Chanel's life and the link with the nuns and the link with La Rotonde, so the cabaret, and her life, which is always tied between 2 men and always binded somehow with the money. So I saw a lot of that in the life of a very close relative of my sister. And then there's Pandora's Box. So that's yet another film in which Audrey Tautou acts. In Pandora's Box, well, seems to be, also about creating an escort. So let me just... Audrey Tautou played in a movie that's called Amelia, and in Amelia we have the box. So Amelia is the woman that supposedly helps people around, and one of the things that she does is that she finds a box in her own flat in the bathroom behind the tile, and she takes out that box with souvenirs and she goes to the person that it belongs to. So that box is something that contains traditional photo albums and other souvenirs. And supposedly this is done so that the person can reconnect to their memories and so on. So the box can be very symbolic, because I remember my sister, she used to sit in the box with books, and you already know that a book is a symbol of wisdom, but it also is a symbol of an escort, of a woman who is supposed to talk to men, and she's supposed to be smart, intelligent, and she's supposed to be engaging and interesting, right? So books make us interesting. And so Pandora, if we look at the symbol of the box, we see that Pandora is in Greek mythology the first woman created by the gods, and she's the woman that was gifted with different talents by a different god. And then Pandora was also given the box, and she was instructed not to open the box under any circumstances, but out of curiosity. Probably she was also instructed that the box included all the evils of the world. and in it there will be sickness, death, and suffering. So yeah, Pandora was curious. She opened the box, and out of the box, everything came out. And once she realized what happened, she closed the box. And um, but it was, it was too late, and everything was out. And the only thing left inside the box was hope. So that's the story, and I think that's what the box actually symbolizes in those girls who in gypsy magic act out in their own lives, in the stories of Beauty and the Beast, Coco Chanel, and then yeah, they have a lot to do with physical box where they probably keep their books. So later, Amelia is a woman who lives in Montmartre in Paris. So in the story of Milagros, we see that the main actress Natalia Oreiro lives in Montevideo, and in the story that was acted out, in my family life, the man who married into my family was from Monte Cassino. That's the district in Tarnów. That's the area in Tarnów where we have lots of tall blocks of flats, and that's the name of it, Monte Cassino. So there is this connection, the linkage with Mont. And I told you about the box. That's one of the things Amelia does. The other thing is that, Amelia has got a father who collects dwarfs, and he keeps them in their garden. But then Amelia wanted him to go on a trip, so she took one of the dwarfs without him knowing about it, and she gave it to her friend, and her friend would just take photos of that dwarfs in the Eiffel Tower, or, in other places out there. Which can be iconic, relevant. And in Amelia also has somebody with some bone disease, and that's her neighbor who is a painter. Don't remember specifically how she helped him. And she also helped the blind man to experience the world around him. And she also was a matchmaker. And she helped her friends find love. So I think, the matchmaker is also symbolic. The box is symbolic because of the Pandora dogs. The dwarfs are symbolic because the dwarfs in the very first version didn't have the names. So the dwarfs, I talk specifically about it, for me, represent Jewish people in their history. And in The Blind Man is the visions, who the vision in Tolkien and the Lord of the Rings specifically can represent the devil, or maybe it can also refer to the third eye and the ability to see beyond. And the matchmaker for me is just a clear reference to being an escort, so to creating women whose morality solves, right, so to say. And Amelia is the woman who finds a boyfriend, Nino Quinn Campoix. And he worked in a sex shop, which is also symbolic. And he liked to collect photos that were left in Poland. We don't have such places like budka ze zdjęciami, but in other countries out there, probably there are places where you can just go take a photo, and that photo comes out of the machine. So he used to collect such photos. So, photos in gypsy magic can be symbolic, because I remember when I don't remember, I remember the photos, but when I was a little girl, we used to take a lot of photos with, in the carriage, with the horses, and with monkeys. So monkeys do, they mimic a lot. And I used to have lots of photos when I was just a baby girl and I was totally naked. Because when it happens once, twice, like 5 times, it can happen, right? That we can take a stupid photo and then we just have it, right? We don't throw it away. But I had like at least 2 pages of a very big photo album filled in with those naked photos. So I believe the gypsy also closed in photos some key moments, like, my sister stands in the same position, like my aunt stands in the same position during their wedding reception, in the same position with the flowers and the photos. So possibly when they act out the stories in their lives, they also close them in the photos deliberately, in a specific way, in a given way. Okay, so today I was a little bit late because of the internet problems. So yeah, hopefully next time I will be on time, and I hope um, you can forgive me. So talk to you next Tuesday, and in the meantime, I'm organizing the meetings in the Story Club every Wednesday, so I'll be talking to you about it soon. So take care and talk to you soon.